So, Zack Snyder has made a movie about peaceful farmers who hire a group of warriors to defend their village from a band of evildoers who want to steal their grain. So basically it's gonna be a Bug's Life with lots of violence and slow motion. Sounds pretty wizard to me. This is Vader Reviews. We are honored that you would join us. This week's video is brought to you by the generosity of Hero of the Empire. I'm just happy to be a stormtrooper, Adam Jordan. The Empire thanks you once again for your service, my friend. Zack Snyder recently gave an interview with Vanity Fair about his upcoming sci-fi epic, Rebel Moon, and I read it so you don't have to. Seriously, they should have put a spoiler warning on this interview because it gives away a lot of details about the story and characters that should have been revealed in the movie. So, I've sifted through the article like grain for interesting tidbits of information that won't spoil the movie for you, because I'm such a nice guy. So, Rebel Moon, is it going to be the next Star Wars? Could be. One thing's for sure, it certainly can't be any worse than what we've been getting as of late. But more than that, the circumstances of how this film came together are quite similar to what George Lucas went through when he first created our favorite galaxy far, far away. You see, back in the day, kids, good old Georgie wanted to make a Flash Gordon film, but he couldn't get the rights. So he just pulled from his various sources of inspiration and created his own universe of galactic heroes and villains. Similarly, Zack Snyder, while in post-production on Man of Steel, met with the new leaders of Disney Lucasfilm to discuss his plans for a potential Star Wars trilogy. One that had been brewing in his little noggin ever since he went to film school back in the 80s. The current leadership at Lucasfilm turned down the project. But did this stop Zack? He merely said, "If I can't have a galaxy far, far away, I'll make one instead." According to Deborah Snyder, Zack's wife, a longtime producer, she hopes that the fans of the films that inspired Rebel Moon will enjoy what they've created here. It's a bit like Star Wars, she said. It has a bit of everything. It's a little bit like Lord of the Rings, a little bit like Game of Thrones with the palace intrigue. And it's really just a lot of what's in Zack's head. So, let's see what's buzzing about inside his noggin and take a look at some of the characters of Rebel Moon. In this group shot, we get a sense of the grimy aesthetic the film is going to have. Zack Snyder described this world as a diesel punk future. And honestly, with the look of this motley crew, I think Vin Diesel's goggle-wearing, knife-wielding convict, Richard B. Riddick, would feel right at home here. So who knows, maybe we'll get a crossover someday. Happened with Alien and Predator. Actress Sofia Boutella plays Cora, who sets out on her quest with mercenary pilot Kai, played by Charlie Hunnam, to recruit a band of fighters who are rough, tough, and don't take no guff to protect the farming moon of Velt from the evil forces of the Imperium. Speaking of which, here's a look at actor Ed Skrein in his best M. Bison cosplay as Admiral Noble, flanked on both sides by two spooky-looking characters known as Scribes, who kinda look like if Guinan from Star Trek The Next Generation joined Slipknot. Back to the good guys. If you're thinking Nature Boy here looks a bit like Tarzan, you're not far off, because Zack Snyder used the Jungle Hero and Conan the Barbarian as inspiration for the warrior Tarak, who apparently rides a flying griffin-like beast called a Bennu into battle. Now, as a sword-fighting cyborg myself, the character that piqued my interest the most is a mysterious sword master played by South Korean actress Doona Bae. And with a name like Nemesis, I'm guessing she's going to be the Kyuzo of the film. On her world, a rite of passage to become a warrior requires you to cut off your arms and replace them with cybernetics, so you can wield deadly molten blades, powered by gauntlets, which are ancient artifacts from her home world. So it looks like good old Zack found a way to get lightsabers into this movie after all. Now, normally I don't root for rebel scum, but in this case, I'm willing to make a rare exception. Releasing on Netflix December 22nd, Writer Director Zack Snyder says his new sci-fi fantasy adventure will be a film for all ages to enjoy, like Star Wars. However, there will also be a grittier extended version which will be released later for fans who want to take a deeper, more hard-edged dive into this world. Personally, I'm hoping that just means extended fight scenes and more world building, and not just an excuse to show everyone's rebel moon. But time will only tell. Now, I love a good old-fashioned galactic civil war, slow motion, and cape flapping, as the exuberant Mr. Tyrone Magnus puts it. So to paraphrase my old master, I will watch this film with great interest. This has been Vader Reviews, and always remember, you don't know the power of the dark side.